Just when the caterpillar thought her life was over, she began to fly. When I read that sentence, my mind went to you, Monica, and I felt that this sentence is meant for you. Good morning, Monica. It's
Hi,
lovely to
how
see
are
you
you?
again.
Same here. I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm so happy to have you again. And
Me
today
too.
we need to mention that our rencontre, our meeting, is about question and answer. And we have received too many interesting questions that we're going to go through.
I'm so
Are you ready
excited
for
about
that?
the questions. I was so inspired by all the questions. I'm so happy people have asked all these questions because it's going to help a lot of people.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to know the answers
Me too.
as well.
Cool. So let us begin.
Shall I start with the first question?
Maybe we can start with the reason why we wore our colors today.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me
So
to tell
you
you
tell,
first why I am in yellow?
yes, why are you in yellow and why am I in pink?
I can talk about myself. I know
Okay.
that yellow, it represents positivity and happiness. And this is how I feel today. And I love yellow anyway. So
Okay.
that's the reason I
That's
put
cool.
yellow on today.
So as I work in color, and I believe color is therapy, I was going to wear yellow this morning. I had the yellow ready, I was dressed, and then I stained it while I was
Oh
getting.
no.
But I thought I wanted to wear yellow because yellow represents something called the solar plexus, which is a chakra. And it's all about self-love, self-acceptance, self-confidence. So the fact that you wore it and I had to change, there was a reason. Now, pink is all about really loving yourself. And a lot of the questions are about self-love. So I thought this is the color. So remember, color is therapy. Wearing colors can change how you feel. So it's like taking a medicine. Wearing your colors is important. So it's nice that we're both in color today.
And we didn't even discuss that. We didn't
did
talk
not
about
discuss
it.
that. Yeah.
It's
See,
amazing.
I was meant to
Amazing.
remove the yellow so that you could wear it. Okay, cool.
It's nice.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with our first question. Mira is asking, I am planning to move to Montreal. Is there any English comprehensive schools there? And can you give me an idea about the rental budget? Would it be easy for me to find a job?
Let's start with, we're assuming Mira is Canadian, because if she's
She
not,
is.
then we have, it's a longer story.
She is
So,
Canadian.
the most important thing she needs to know is she needs to learn French. If she does not speak French, it is very difficult to find a job because the laws here with the Francophone and every job will require her to be bilingual.
Okay.
So before she comes, she needs to start learning French. Even when she arrives here, there'll be courses she can take to learn. Okay.
Is it easy to learn the language when you are there if you are coming from an English background?
It depends on how willing you are to learn. It is not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy.
Okay.
Second part, the French school. You cannot put your child in an English school in a public system in Montreal. You can't. We tried. The only way is by having a child with a learning difficulty or something like that, but you have to prove they are behind. So you can put them in an English school, but it is a private school and it's very costly.
Okay.
Okay. So if she can look into finding work before she comes, it is not easy to find work here, especially if you don't speak English, don't speak French. But then again, you never know. So start searching. Rentals, she'll have to look it up. But one thing I can tell you, where I live is in the suburbs. It's called the West Island, and it is more anglophone. So it's a good area for families. If she has kids, it's very good to have. It's good. It's a nice living. And also everybody speaks English here. But
Okay.
as I said, the schooling, no. She will have to put her kids in a French school, but they do something the first year called emerging. No, it's called, I can't remember the word, but it's where they teach them, it's for foreigners who come in and they help them learn the language for their kids. Is it emerging? No, it's called, I forgot the name of the thing, but it is a class. My kids, when they came, my 5-year-olds, they go in and it's a class for kids that they train them to speak French. And every kid that comes into the French system, if they've never been in it before, will have a year where they put them in a class that helps them.
Okay. You mentioned that the area where you're living is anglophone. Do you think because it is majority English-speaking residents, do you think she can, in that specific area, she can find a job, for example, being an English-speaking person?
Better, but the law here, most jobs will say bilingual because there's something called the French police. They check that they are preserving the language. So they make sure they can come in at any time and check. And if there's someone they've hired that doesn't speak French, they can get fined. So it is very important at least to have the basics.
You know, you reminded me of something that had happened at my primary school, because I did my schooling in Lebanon and I was in a non-school. So the rule was when we are on break, we must speak French. If someone hears us that we're talking in Arabic, they put like a token in our pocket. And if the man finds out that we have that token, we are in trouble because we must speak French.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of the...
But that's why I started my own business online, because of the, you know, the French, because it is a, if you don't speak it and you're not fluent in it, it might be better for her to go to another province.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm sure she will be listening soon.
Okay, so that's my answers to the question. If she doesn't speak French and she's looking for work here, I would not move to Montreal. Okay. She can go to any other area in Canada that is English speaking. She won't have to pay schooling, private schooling for her children, and she won't, it'll be easier to find work. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
Now we're going to move. I'm sure you did. We're going to move now to some health questions.
This is my favorite topic. Okay.
Okay. Mazen is asking, I always have a buzzing noise in my ears. I read on the internet that my hearing is starting getting affected. I am 55 years old and I am ignoring it, so I'm not going and consulting a doctor. Do you think it is time I should visit one? Okay.
I am not a doctor. So yes, part one of the answer would be to go see a doctor. Okay. But as I do work with people and seeing what's the underlying cause of his ear buzzing, 2 books I'm going to recommend. The Secret Language of the Body, Ina Segal. Okay. This is so our body is always talking to us. Okay. Always. Okay. For me, what I do is I listen to what part of my body is talking to me, and I look it up in this dictionary called What's My Body Trying to Tell Me? Okay. Now, the ears are the area where you don't want to hear something. Okay. So somebody, Mazen, somebody is talking to him about something he does not want to hear about.
Okay, interesting.
And as it is in both ears, and I'm going to read what it says. The right ear is the masculine area, which is all about work and moving forward and whatever is going on in his life in that part. Might be financial, might be other things. The left side is his personal life. So there's two areas that he does not want to hear about. Okay. And the fact that it's buzzing is like, can you listen? We're trying to talk to you. His guides, his angels, whoever he wants to believe in, is trying to communicate with him.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't want to hear this. Okay. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't. Now I'm going to read exactly what the ears mean.
Okay. Go ahead.
Possible contributions: blocking what you don't want to hear. Not listening to your own inner guidance, because also this area is your intuition. So he's getting his messages. He's getting what his inner guidance, but maybe the outside noise is louder than his inner voice.
Okay.
So he might be listening to others' opinions and not his own.
All right. Okay.
Okay, because it's not listening to your own guidance and wisdom. Holding on to anger, frustration, blame, guilt, and resentment. Also mishearing or misunderstanding people. A refusal to change your mind or broaden your perspective. And also feeling out of balance. Now, the right ear is about feeling impatient. What I can do later, if you want, and if Mazen wants and he sends you a message, I can take a picture of this and send it to him.
Okay.
So he can, but I'm just reading it for people to understand. So right ear, feeling impatient, because the right is go, go, go. Remember, the right side of our body is about going, going, doing. The left is about receiving, intuition, creativity, feminine side. Okay. So he's hurt by other people's comments, involved in too much conflict.
Okay.
Feel like you've had an earful, there's too much noise around him. And so that's that part, feeling tired, worn out. And on the left, feeling that you have to say is not important. So he's not valuing what he has to say. And not worth hearing or listening to, spending time around people who judge and criticize. So maybe it's not everything, but whatever sounded good to him. In summary, the ears are about not wanting to hear something. And the fact that they're buzzing, and I know a lot of people who are awakening, who are starting their journey, they get the ear buzzing, which means their intuition is, they're probably getting their messages through the ears. They get it, and I get it through, like now I hear it. It's like a message that comes in. Everybody has their intuition come through. He's maybe trying to get it through his ears.
Okay.
And he's not listening.
Okay.
So really the job is to get, I mean, it's a longer job. I do this, but start by writing out everything that's bothering him and burning the paper. Take all the crap out, because you, in order to hear, you have to let go of all these things that are going on in his head.
Interesting. So by doing
and
that,
listening to himself,
he could get rid of that buzzing
100%.
Wow.
So maybe there's something more to it. He must check with his doctor. I'm not going to say it's the cure, but this is a major part of it. His body is trying to talk to him.
Okay.
So he could ask his ears. It's very simple. What are you trying to tell me? Our body talks to us all the time. So ask, write, start writing, release. He has too much going on, and there's stuff he doesn't want to hear. His intuition is giving him the answers.
Okay.
He's just not listening. He's maybe listening to outside noise. Okay, so that's that one. What was the next question?
Crystal is asking, I feel I'm experiencing memory loss. I get stuck on simple words or names, but then I remember them again.
Okay, so I'm going to look up memory loss, but what I'm, okay. Think of the brain as a glass of water. Okay? If it is too full, to actually think about it as a bedroom. If it's very cluttered, bringing in something new doesn't have space to, you can't bring in a new sofa, you can't see it. So part one, declutter. All these doors that are open in her mind that have been, she hasn't resolved, dealt with, whatever, need out. She needs to write it out, clean it. If there's someone that she said, I'm going to call, and she never did, either call or let it go. Don't leave all these boxes in the room unopened or opened and you didn't take the stuff out. Okay, so she's cluttered in her mind. That's why she can't get to the information.
All right.
Okay, but I'm going to read what memory loss is. But just imagine it as a cluttered room. She has to declutter.
It's very nice the way you are describing it. It's very nice.
I used to have a lot of issues with remembering stuff, focusing, whatever. It's because I had too much on my plate. So she needs to close doors. Energy is vital. If she doesn't close the door, that's why if I say I'm going to do something, I do it immediately and close it so it doesn't come in my mind. If it's something that's going on now in my life, I resolve it. I don't bring new crap into my mind because the problem is the mind. So we all think that the mind is the leader here. The heart and the soul is the guide. Okay, the mind, what happens, it's like a computer program. The subconscious are all these files that you have opened or things that happened to you in the past. So when something new happens in your life, you go back to the programming. Okay, but maybe at 2 years old, I fell. And now I'm at 40 something, I'm worried about falling because I still have the 2-year-old program. Okay, so we can, the mind is the advisor, not the CEO. The CEO is here. The advisor, we go through the files. We don't need this file anymore. We delete it. Okay, so she needs to delete a lot of files. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just too much in her head. And if you're too much in your head, you cannot hear your intuition. Okay, but I'm still going to read memory loss.
Okay, go ahead.
Feeling unworthy, stressed, too focused on negativity. So she's probably got a lot of programs going on saying, oh, I remember when that guy left me 20 years ago, I'm still holding on. Or that person that did something to me 10 days ago. How could they? So the story has now become junk in her mind. So her job is to start decluttering so that she can focus and align. Okay, caught up in life's problems, feeling that your needs are not important. At a loss, lost, scared of the future. She's probably too much, either in the future or in the past. Thinking, if I don't remember it, I don't have to deal with it. Also, she could be like Mazen, who doesn't want to hear. He or she doesn't maybe want to remember it. And is keeping it in the room. And she thinks she's not going to hear about it, but what's taking a lot of space. So she has to go straight into the fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
Now, this is the first part of our meeting today. Okay. I'm going to let go and then we'll come back.
Okay, fantastic.
Here we are again with our second part of Q&A. And here is a question for you, Monica. From Saab. My wife is cheating on me and I turn a blind eye because I love her and cannot live without her. What do you tell Saab?
Saab, really? Really? I don't know what's going on in your life. I really don't. But valuing yourself is the most important thing. And if someone is cheating, it means there's either something going on in the relationship, but it doesn't look like the other person values you. So what I would say to you is, before you make any drastic decisions, start the work on yourself and find that love inside of you. It's going to take time, but find the love inside of you first and see what's going on, that you're holding on to something that doesn't want you. I know it's harsh, but do the work so you value yourself and love yourself enough to not accept something that's less than what you deserve. Please.
Okay,
Next.
thank you, Monica. Sandra is asking, I am not happy with my marriage and I am scared of the unknown. Which step you think I should do first?
Okay. Step one, what is it that you're unhappy with in your marriage? It's important to sit and write it down and really figure it out. Okay. Now, if you're not happy in your life, then you have to take steps to do the work for you inside. Not about leaving first. You never leave unless you have a plan. Okay. So the work is to do her inner work and build her confidence and start looking into leaving without a plan, without finances, without a job, without any of these things, I'm sorry to say, is stupid. Okay, you have to have a plan. And you also have to, the grass is not always greener on the other side. So you got to see, what are the pros here? What are the cons here? Is it something that you can go to therapy and work on? Do you need to see somebody? Is it something that maybe it can be worked on? Because I believe in working in your relationship. I don't believe in just leaving. But if it's something she cannot handle anymore, then she needs to do the inner work on herself to build that confidence in order to have a plan. But do not leave a marriage until you've become confident in yourself and know what your steps are. So many women do that. They leave and they haven't got a plan. So think of a plan, start doing your inner work. Don't leave anything. Maybe when you do the work, you'll feel like, oh my God, we're compatible. Maybe it will be so much easier to leave. So it's about you. Because remember, there's something very important. The person in your life is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So when you heal inside, things outside change.
Okay. Michelle is asking, my husband is a very good person and he ticks many of the boxes, except the most important one being my husband. Should I look at all the ticked boxes and ignore the blank one, or the opposite?
The opposite. She needs to look at what is it that is not being filled by this person and work on filling it for herself, because that's one of her core values. The fact that this is important to her, it's one of her core values. So she has to see, what is it? If we think, this is something I learned the hard way. You are the only one who is going to look after you. So if it's something missing outside, it means it's missing inside of you. You give it to yourself first. So whatever it is that's missing, she needs to find it in first, and then look at her husband and what's going on. So again, it's the same answer. She has to do the inner work, reflecting, cleaning up, whatever it is. Yes, he might tick off the boxes, but this is a vital thing for her. Does he even know that he's not even doing this job? So it's about doing her inner work first. No one leaves anything until you know who you are.
Interesting. Okay. Rania is asking, what now this is the grieving part, okay?
Okay.
What if we don't know how to grieve? is there any steps we could follow?
Okay. Many people don't know how to grieve. I was one of them. Now, part one, or to answer the first part, when you end something in life, if they do end the relationship, there is a grief period. Grieving means going straight to the pain, and it hurts. So let's say a parent passed. You are going to have to face it. I've had many losses in my life, and I've had to face them all. And it hurts deeply. And you will feel your heart break open. You have to go there. Because grief, if you don't feel the grief, your heart freezes, which means you can't also feel joy. So writing about it, crying, listening to a sad song, there's a practice in grieving. You have to sit with the pain.
Listening to a sad song will help you in your
because
grief.
sometimes, yes, because grief is an emotion. You don't need the story. It's energy that just needs to be released in your body. It needs to be felt. Sometimes we can't feel it because we're numb. So what you do, how can you cry? If a sad song or a sad movie makes you cry, then you listen to it, because it's only about releasing the emotion.
Interesting.
Don't need the story. I work a lot with grief. Everything that ends requires grief.
Okay.
And if you don't feel the pain, you're storing it in that room where the memory loss will happen later.
Yes.
So feel it, even if you have to say, today I'm going to spend the day crying, and at 6 o'clock I'm getting up. Okay. But not feeling it, you're storing stuff in that room that you haven't dealt with, and put it under the carpet.
Because sometimes people will not grieve because I am strong.
Okay.
I should not be crying.
Just so you know, if you've read one of my articles, I was strong and strong and strong. It affected my health. I got a breast lump, and I got a, so grieving, if you do not grieve, you're poisoning your system. So
interesting point.
Being strong is not important. It is important to go on, but you also have to stop to grieve and feel the pain and feel the joy and feel the whatever. It's about feeling your emotions.
Okay. Another question we have here from Rima, also related to grieving. She's asking, how can I notice that my children are grieving or needing to grieve?
Okay, you talk to them. If a parent has just passed, and I've had to deal with this with my own children, because they've lost 3 grandparents and their parents divorced. So it is a topic that you have to sit with your kids and speak about. So let's say it's a grandpa. Okay. So you go to your son and you say, or your daughter, and you speak to them about it. How are you feeling? You know, it's okay to cry when somebody passes. You're teaching your child to feel emotions. That's the key to his future. The more he learns how to feel his emotions and release them, the more it becomes training. What I do is I train people how to feel their emotions. Like a trainer, you know, you go to the gym to train, I train in emotions. So the more you're able to talk to your child and explain to them that it's okay to go into your room and feel the feelings. And it's okay from time to time that your eyes are going to water because you miss your grandpa. And at any time you feel like you just want to talk, I'm going to hold space for you. So you give him permission. And what is even more important is you tell them how you grieve and how you are feeling, and you support each other in the grief process. So you go and you ask your child, you sit with them. And this is a habit that you can do with everybody. Spend time connecting. This is the key to our relationships. The more you talk about your feelings and your emotions, and you teach them, so they won't have anxiety as they grow up, because they'll know how to feel it. they will have their own tools to release anger and fear and judgment, whatever. That paper and pen where they write and tear up is the best tool you can give your child. Creativity, art also releases grief.
Interesting. Very
So
simple thing to do.
Just
can
go to the
give you
thing.
big results.
Don't avoid things. You're storing it so you get memory loss. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We come to an end with our questions. It's lovely to have you again, Monica, and thank you for your time.
I love that. Thank you.
And
I hope all these answers helped a lot of people, or even awaken their mind a little bit to think differently.
I hope so too. And I look forward to hear from people what their feedback is. They can write to us on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Instagram. And let's hope we left a positive impact on everyone who is listening to us today.
Yeah.
Bye
Wonderful.
for now, Monica.
Take care. Bye.